But as the economy picks up steam, and if we expect that the manufacturing sector will gather mass, then you would expect that this sort of a challenge to become even bigger for the distribution companies. In fact, as I said, the small and medium enterprises, this is their biggest problem, that of the dues that they of the electricity that they can't get, and of how to do it on. One option that was thought about was to allow the industrial consumers what is called an open access. The open access principle that was laid out in the Electricity Act of 2003. In fact, that was one principle which was never operationalized from the Electricity Act, which was that a company, if it wants and if it has electricity consumption above a particular threshold, can go to the market and buy electricity from at the lowest level from whichever company is willing to provide. So, state governments, what they said is, first of all, they did not operationalize it for about 7 to 8 years. Then, when there was a sufficient amount of uproar and the Central Electricity Regulatory Commission started pressing on them, almost every state government has said we will allow, provided a certain amount of compensation is paid to us. There are different names for those compensation, but they ask for compensation from the companies to switch to market pricing. So basically, the companies are paying the state electricity boards for the inefficiencies, and that's how the system is supposed to go. So obviously, companies which are bigger, they have responded by setting up their own generation units. And when they set up their own generation units, as you know, subcritical level of generation units are much less efficient than the supercritical thermal power units, which is why you would find the pollution loads in actually many of the industrial centers rising. And they rise precisely because the industrial units are providing their own electricity. It affects the small industries which simply shut shop for the time that they can't get electricity because they can't jump. So again, it's a classic problem where, as I said, the incentives are so different, so differently aligned for the different segments, that it becomes very difficult for a logical set of decisions to be taken. The last problem, as you pointed out, is about the cost issue that we have not even tried to account for the earlier cost. Now, there's no point saying every government tries to say that let's forget what has happened in the past and try with a fresh slate. The problem is that the fresh slate is for running a business enterprise is absolutely impossible. Somebody has got to pay for the past dues.